hospital lifestyle, failed cures, scars that don't fade, and pain. So much pain. My only company now are the dead. They seem to call for me like sirens from the shore, calling for me. Their offer of tranquility that only the finality of death can bring. Those 3 words. Rest in peace. Those are my companions. Until you came. You think I'm crazy, don't you? Sitting here amidst the bones of my predecessors, bottle in hand in a mess of my own making. You already knew that, didn't you? And I wasn't always like this. Sad, old, looking like a vagrant drunk. I was brought here through a series of circumstances which can only be described as unfortunate. My misfortune spans many years. Apparently I've angered the fates so much as to end up here, talking to you of all people, pleading my case over and over again to deaf ears. Here you are, telling a story that you'll soon regret ever hearing. Just remember that I warned you. You recall playing tagging games as a child, right? Feeling the adrenaline rushing through your veins, the constant touch and go between you and capture. This intoxicating cocktail of emotion is the state in which I found myself on September 27th, 1849. I awoke to a blade against my neck, begging me to move, to run, to die. Cold steel against my skin caused every hair on my chin to stand at full attention. The knife beckoned me out of my carriage into the dark where men surrounded me. The men surrounding me were clearly stronger than myself, but upon further inspection I could see that they were dressed in tatters, or dyed with a coat of what appeared to be blood. Suffice to say, they were the hunters. And I was the hunted. Should have expected it. Why should anything go right for me, huh? And after all, life has not exactly been the most joyful experience for me. I've successfully lost just about everything and everyone that ever gave me a sliver of hope or love. Yes, love. I know love seems like a strange topic for the esteemed Edgar Allan Poe with which to concern himself. I only exist in the deep, depressing poetry and dark, cynical prose that keeps me warm at night, right? Yeah, well, I suppose you're half right. I am alone. Alone as I can be with you standing here. The mighty have fallen, right? Fallen so far since I fell for her. Virginia, I mean. I met her, my world stopped, shattered into a million pieces that only she could reassemble. You don't understand because you can't see her like I did. Hair up, tendrils framing her face, the way her pale skin reflected the light. She was a vision. Asking you to see her now will forever be impossible. But I want you to know this. In this gloomy earth covered in slime and grit, she was the light that blinded me. I was happy with her. I don't think happy is quite accurate, though. No, just the word happy, as if that could encompass the world that she existed in. When my parents abandoned me, one in death and the other in cowardice, I feel like I lost part of that essence that makes one whole. Something intangible that comes with being part of a family that makes one a person. Virginia was at peace and united with me. if she would say that I was that for her. I doubt it. Angels do not truly pity the damned. And after that night in September, there's no going back from that. I am damned. If only she had loved... If only she... You know, I was better with her. Being with her made me want to be better. Not knowing if I was worthy of her made me want to be. Some of my best work was written when I was in her company, partly out of fear, partly out of adoration. She was my raven in the night. Frightening and unquestionable, but beautiful and mysterious as well. That love that I felt for her was the strongest feeling I've ever felt, without contention. But alas, she's nevermore. Nevermore in this world, nevermore in my life. Oh God, Virginia, forgive me. Forgive me for what I've done. Oh, good God, have mercy. For your scorn, your disgust is the one poison that I cannot bear. The knife in the night that I will never recover from. Will the blood never be off my hands? If I could turn back the time, I would, Virginia. I would. I guess one can only hope that my raven will fly out with me from this darkness in this pit that they call life. And that one day I'm worthy of that flight. It was the loss of her that sent me forth on that black night in Philadelphia. The weight of my grief and memory was slowly burning me alive, and I needed nothing more than to leave and forget the place where I had lived with the one who now haunts only my dreams. I saw some opportunity in Philadelphia. Old flame to rekindle. A woman who I was originally intended to marry was now a widow. I don't quite remember how her husband died, but pretty sure it involved... I mean, I should... No, maybe... No, it couldn't... Never mind. Doesn't matter. Always get pulled off track when I drink. Got a vote for that, right? Where was I going? Ah, the woman, yes. I thought that my cold heart could maybe find some warmth in the heat of an old flame, so I set course for Philadelphia. Stupid man. Now, the trains would have got me there, but, well, let's just say that my taste for company on this godforsaken earth is a bit lacking. So I opted for the old way, horse and carriage. I commissioned a horse from some stables downtown from some old shipyard run down from years of criminal activity. The horse, unbeknownst to me, was the spawn of a great evil. It kicked and bit and reared and wouldn't listen to authority or reason. I mean, quite frankly, it was just mean. That devil's name was Sugar Cube. Seeing that disgusting animal lying expired on the ground by the hands that now held a knife to my throat was my only pleasure that night. You see, that's the failure of traveling alone in a carriage. You might not have to deal with the pig-headed people who crowd the trains, but you might just die by the hands of thieves and the vagrants who lurk the dark shadows in the back roads, waiting for unsuspecting riders to pass by. Easy pickings, as one man called me. Easy pickings, he said, as he searched through my trunk in the now deserted carriage. I stood there in shock, only slightly drunk at the time. As he held a knife to my throat, I felt my pulse beat against the cold metal. I squinted, trying to see the faces of my captors through the cloud that had now fogged my mind. They seemed grotesque to me. Cold, leering eyes, sinister smiles, not a shred of humanity. Of course, I couldn't see their actual faces because the light from their lanterns was gleaming in my face, blinding me. But still. What do you want from me? I managed to slur out to the nearest pair of eyes. The only reply was a laugh, a cough, blow to my cheek. See, much of this is blurry. I don't remember much from that night. It's like the haze that you enter when you first wake up in the morning. There was blood, blades, a gun, falling, a body. Let me ask you a question. Why are you here? Why do you glorify death? You bring liquor and roses to a man who spent his entire life decomposing himself and the whole world around him. Great, you say? How can a man who only causes darkness be great? Fine. Stand there, delude yourself, cover your ears to the truth. Keep telling yourself that story in your head about the tortured artist, Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, poor Edgar! Poor little tortured artist who was so misunderstood and cruelly misused by the world. Boo-hoo! I'll bring him roses and cognac to his grave every year to show him that somebody cares about his work. Ha! You know nothing of greatness and art. Art is nothing if it's dead. You assume that the men who broke me killed me, didn't you? Didn't you? Yeah. The death of the writer. Beaten and broken and left to die on the side of the road with nothing. How simple, how tragic, how heartbreaking, how poetic. Oh, poor Edgar! No, these men didn't kill me. Instead, they decided that they were going to play out one of my stories. What fun, right? Even some cheap robbers have read the great Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. What fun they could have with him before he died, right? Just like in the story, cut into 1,000,000 pieces and buried below the floorboards. Started with a cut right here. Wouldn't kill you. But oh, it bleeds beautifully. Who knew that being a murder author would be so helpful, right? There's one thing about that story that I always got wrong before that night, though. How easy it was. A quick slash of a knife, or the sweet caress of a trigger. The quick recoil, the warm splatter of blood. Yes! With such ease, such simplicity, such elegance, I eradicated 4 men from this earth with a gun that they never assumed I would be carrying. After that first slash to the chest, I gave that man a mark on his to match my own. Down he went! Bang! And another ran towards me. Bang! Oh boy, what fun! Another! Bang! And another! Bang! It was hard to leave the fun. But I did. I left them murdered and forgotten on the side of the road. The road that I was meant to take my last breath on. I finally learned how to forget her. Virginia. At the cost of my sanity, some say. But of course you already knew that, right? That's why you're here. Madness is greatness, you say. No! Greatness is greatness. Greatness is greatness. Greatness. Who's to say I'm so great, huh? I'm nothing more than a demon who steals life from the living. Go on then, toast me. Tell yourself that you've found someone who deserves praise. It doesn't matter. This world is not full of tormented angels in flight. Only monsters who steal their light. I am that monster, but nevermore. 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 Nevermore.
The boundaries dividing life from death are shadowy and vague. Who shall say where one ends and where the other begins?
Open that door.
Open the curtain, Jack. Jack, open the curtain for them because they're silly. Everybody go in. Guys, everybody come in. Everybody come in. Everybody. Happy afternoon. Thank you all for coming out and supporting what we do. I just have a couple of people I want to acknowledge for being here this whole weekend, assisting the students in all of their independent efforts. Ms. Rosemary Slocum, first of all, who and my better half, Matt Kopp, who have helped supervise people so that we can be technical. Attached to a student in the festival, they just need to stay to help clean up. It shouldn't take too long. We have 45 people, so many hands make light work. Please drive safely, and once again, everybody out.
Pass that little bit of knowledge on. Dark staying in the room, that's the hanging rack. The lighter chairs are ones that are racks that are back in the cafeteria. The darker chairs should mostly be kind of front here. So what we do is just sort of start stacking. So we can go get down the hall. These in the front, all the darker chairs.
Do you have a car here or you drive? Huh?
Well, so we gotta get the people too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll read behind, right?
I'm gonna run in the restroom and I'll meet you out the door. How about that?
Okay.
Go get the rack and stay in the classroom.
Guys, all the chairs, you know, my blue chairs go on the
The darker ones go on the rack. The lighter ones go in the hall on the cart. Go stay in the room. Those stay in this room, Laura.
What?
Those stay in here.
Well, the rack's outside.
The rack's coming in now.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
So the ones that are up here stay in the room. The lighter ones go out.
So, you did pretty good today.
Did you see my gunshot though? Did you see my gunshot? My gunshot.
Yeah, those stay in here. Those ones stay in here.
I think the entire show is
The lighter ones go on that rack. Alright, well then just
Guys, the black chairs do not go on the rack, because that's my eyes. Black chairs stay here.